Monika, we're really delighted to have you with us. It wasn't easy, apparently, to join the conference remotely, so hello.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Łukasz. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
Yes,
you
we
well.
Finally?
do. Hi, Monica.
Yes.
We can hear you
Hi, and
really well. We have already introduced you, but why not give it a second try? Monika Lis, Diversity
sure.
Hub and State Street Bank Polska, ERG Center by Diversity Hub lead, Monika. The word
Yes.
lead always has some kind of responsibility attached to it. You've listened to what we've covered so far talking about ERGs. What would be your first impression, first diagnostic impression? Why are some ERGs so successful and others struggle? What's your first thought on the subject?
Yeah, that's great question, Łukasz. And thinking about the previous speeches, especially Tatiana's, I would say this is the role model of the ERG lead. So definitely, I think that for the better understanding what is happening, that some of the ERGs are successful while others are not so good, I would like to say that the successful ERGs are those who are ready to grow, I would say. So, but we need to understand that to grow, we obviously need to have a supportive environment, not rising conditions, but at the same time, it requires hard work, voluntary work. And this is what Tatiana mentioned as well. So I used to be a leader for the ERG for more than 8 years. So now working with various organizations as a ERG center lead, I can see it clearly that some of the ERGs used to have those key elements, while others did not. So we have heard many stories about the passionate people launching ERGs, and after some time, something has happened, something just burned out. So I would say, what are those key elements? Maybe these are not any longer so mysterious, because already Tatiana mentioned a few of those. So for sure, I will build on that. But just to have the takeaway thing, I would base that on the GROW model. GROW model or process, because from my perspective, it's more a process that should be repeated along the lifespan of the ERG. So GROW model is a coaching framework that is very helpful to unlock potential and possibilities. So the GROW stands for goal, reality, option, and will. So let me start with the goal. This is what Thijs mentioned before. Yeah, that's the goal is a strategic plan. It's a plan, it's a strategy for the ERG. So ERG must have exact goal or goals and should always focus on those. So because of the working as the entertainer only will not lead to the success. So what could be the example of such a goal? From my perspective, it could be just to create or ensure the equal opportunities and workplace standards for men and women in the organization, or just to create a supportive environment for example, working parents. But all that requires particular actions. So thinking about the goals, this is what also Thijs mentioned, definitely they need to be in line with company's culture, values, strategy as well. So D&I goals in the organizations that treat them as a company's performance goals as well may also support ERGs in employees' dedication to those. So thinking about the culture, we heard about that before. So we need to remember that culture is strategy for the breakfast. So it's good to remember about that. And here is the great role, as Thijs mentioned as well, to help align ERGs, their goals, and within those strategy and culture. But on the other hand, to help ERGs to understand and present their goals to the organization. So for sure, goal, the first point, then reality. In even yesterday, we heard many success stories, but all of those were preceded by the deep analysis. So we need to understand and get to know our organization, yeah? To check up on the workplace and the reality that we are facing as a ERG. So it's good to understand the data, the key information, to understand which D&I dimensions may require the ERG support or activity. So in here, the tip and the hint for D&I for ERG is for sure to work with the D&I team, HR team, to find the answers to the questions. And of course, it's very important to understand that no all data is available for us due to law requirements, for example. So we need to think about that as a project as well.
Monica, because we have less than a minute left, can I stop you there
Yep.
with a quick
Yes.
question? As
Yes.
ERG Center, what would be your key observations in terms of the challenges that ERGs are dealing with? Because I think we've gotten deep enough into understanding the value and the contribution of ERGs, but the challenges and priorities, if you were to give us the number one challenge for ERGs as you watch them, as you explore their progress, number two and number three,
Yes.
what would be your number one, number two, and number three?
So lately we observe the main challenge as a lack of ERG members or membership and engagement, people engagement. And here comes the question, why? So the reasons that we could observe was lack of the information, how to join, or no appreciation of the work being done by the ERG members, both from the line managers, but also from top executives. This is something that we should think about while being challenged by that. For sure, low interest in activities organized by the ERGs. And here comes the question, what can be the reason? So for sure, copying and pasting activities from other organizations is not the best approach. So let's guess or case, because other organizations have, it's not the best approach. It would be good to understand what is the structure of our organization, what is the real need, here. And the third one, insufficient support from the organization. So for sure, the highlighted aspect is that the cooperation with the line managers, the frozen middle, but also from the executives. And here comes also the challenges that comes from the overload on daily basis, that employees are facing. So it's the decision to be made, what to attend and what to take. So just to sum up, because being conscious of time, organizations are progressing in a good direction while creating and supporting ERGs, but it's very important to understand that it's not only their responsibility to help ERGs to grow. It's
Monica?
the combination,
We have two questions coming for you from our studio. One is from Elisa, is actually addressed to all, but it's especially relevant to your session, I suppose. Do you think that ERG can be successful if the sponsor is not in a leadership position, but has a great passion for it? So is it enough to have passion, but no leadership, no executive role to support it? And question number two, coming from Hans, how do you motivate employees who actively organize and participate in ERG to keep them engaged? What would be a good reward other than initiatives to increase participation?
Sure. So answering the first question, what if we do not have a sponsor? There are ERGs without sponsorship ensured, and I would say the passionate person who has the skill set that is required to speak about that ERG, to spread the word, to be an advocate. So to play this role, despite the fact that the person is not in the leadership role within the organization itself, can do the same. Yeah. So I think that passion is very important, but we also heard that it's not enough. So skill set will help that person to be successful in this role.
The thing about skill set, it almost always helps, sometimes can hamper some efforts.
Indeed.
Monika, we really need to stop here, I'm afraid, and proceed to the next session. It's been a pleasure to have you join us. And if you feel like answering some of the questions from our audience, please revert to the chat window. All the questions may be waiting right there. Thank you so much again.
Thank you very much.